My father was an art dealer in the 20s and the 30s. We believe he bought these at auctions sometime in the 1940s.
Now, the ship plates, which I think are the greatest production of that factory, there were actually 10. So you've got 8 of the set here. And they were designed by a local artist, maritime artist called Arthur Bradbury, in about 1931.
Right.
And he designed the series to represent the history of shipping in Poole. So they go from the medieval period up to what was nearly the present day in that time. And so they are local history, but at the same time, they're also, to me, wonderfully decorative objects. They're so expressive of the way the Poole process, the Poole technique worked. Now, I have to ask you, looking around, a lot of them, I'm afraid, are damaged.
Yes.
Now, how has that happened?
They were up the stairs. And,
up the stairs, yes.
Our cleaning lady put the hoover over her shoulder and walked up the stairs, knocking them one by one. My father at the bottom going, no!
Oh, no. So each one crashed to the ground?
They did, I'm afraid. And then obviously he stopped her before she got to the top.
So the ones that survived were the ones that were higher up?
I think so, yes.
Have you got any favourites?
I like this one a lot.
The Harry Pay?
Yes.
The
and
ones...
also this one, the
yes,
Viper, I think.
The Viper, I think, is great.
Yes.
Now, that one, which also has a view of Old Harry Rocks in the back, which I like very much, that was the first man of war to be built for the Navy in Poole. I like very much the whaler, because that, again, is part of Poole's history. In the late 18th century, Poole was a whaling town. There is the plate confirming it. But my 2 favourites, and the ones, in fact, I have to confess I've got at home, the Water Witch. That's your favourite. I think this is a wonderful ship. Built in 1871 by Midas of Poole, a local ship, in the China clay trade. So this ship was seen, tied up at the quay in the 1930s. And if we turn it over, we find always they have this inscription, 1932, and the designer and the painter. Margaret Holder did most of them. Ruth Paverley, another key artist, did some of the others. The girls who painted these were looking out of the windows, and in some cases they could actually see these ships in the harbour sailing past. Another story, though, of course, of local relevance is the Polly. Now, this is a trawler built by the Allens at Hamworthy in 1906, a very local ship, a ship, again, very famous in the harbour, very fast, well-sailing ship. And the great thing about the Polly, which was owned by the same family, the Haynes, until 1978, is that she survives. She's under restoration now with another owner in Brixham. So this ship, depicted here, soon will be sailing again. So that completes this story. I have this one because I have a daughter called Polly, and so I had to have, of all the ones I had to have, this was the one. So they're one of the greatest collectibles, I think, of Poole. Have you any idea what was paid for them?
I wouldn't think a lot.
No, not at that date. And you haven't followed the prices of Poole particularly?
No.
Right. I mean, the good news is that the big ones now sell for about £1,000 each. The smaller ones for about 800, 700. The bad news is, of course, the damaged ones are worth very little. 150, 200 pounds.
Yes.
They could be restored, but it's much too expensive to do so. So enjoy them. I've never seen a set like this, and if you're really fanatical, you could look out for the missing too.
Right.